Welcome, dear learners. I am Rusanja, and today we will discuss about the topic air pollution. I have made the PPT of air pollution, and this is presented by me. Now let's discuss about air pollution. I have chosen this topic because in today's decade this topic is very important. We know that really numerous of hazards are causing through air pollution, and deaths and disease also arising due to this pollution. So we must consider this issue very seriously and taken further steps to resolve this issue. Now let's start. At first, what is air pollution? Now the definition is very simple. It is air pollution refers to any physical, chemical and biological change in air and its contamination with harmful gases, dust and smoke which causes damages to severe living beings including plants and animals. Normally, it is a phenomena in which air is mixed or contaminated with harmful solid, liquid, and gaseous particles, which makes the air very harmful, very hazardous, and not suitable for human breathing. Okay, and this causes very harmful for all living beings, not only for humans, for all living beings, including plants and living beings within the ocean, water, animals, etc. All living beings. Okay. Next, from where air pollution arises, what may be its sources? We'll discuss about that. Now, I have categorized the sources in four parts. That are mobile sources. Mobile sources meaning the sources which are not stationary, which is in motion and causes air pollution. It's causing air pollution during motion activity. Okay, not stationary sources. Stationary sources are those which are at rest always, and from there it causes air pollution. Area sources are those the air pollution arising from the huge amount of land area. Okay, natural sources are those which are not, which are not created by humans, and this pollution is caused by nature itself. Okay, first we will discuss about mobile sources. Mobile sources will include cars, buses, trucks and planes and trains. Okay, now we know that car, buses, trucks, all these vehicles include internal combustion engines and uses fuels like petroleum and diesel to make its fuel, and these ejects smoke from the back of the vehicles, which contains hazardous gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and it gets contaminated into the air, and then air pollution causes. And in plane also, the fuel ejects from the backward, which contains the hazardous elements like lead, which gets contaminated into the air and creates air pollution. And in trains, now it's very good that in today's era the trains used are maglev train, that means magnetic train. Now trains operating on electric power, so it's an eco-friendly, it's good for that. But in later era we have used the trains, as we all know that, which includes diesel for its fuel, and it continuously ejects smoke from the top of the mm, trains engines, which contains numerous amounts of harmful gases and gets contaminated into the air and causes air pollution. Now the stationary sources may include power plants, oil refineries, industrial facilities, and factories. All this may include harmful chemicals where various type of chemical reaction takes place and forms various hazardous gases in result. And these gases directly ejects into the atmosphere and hence gets mixed into the air and forms air pollution. It is very simple funda how from stationary sources air pollution gets caused. Now, the area sources, it includes agricultural land, cities, and wood burning causing fire. We know that in a large agricultural area, the farmers gradually burns wheat straw and rice straw, wheat straw and paddy straw. And this burning causes a huge amount of hazardous gases and forms pollution. Now, wood burning also causes carbon dioxide, you know that, and this gets contaminated into the air and forms air pollution. The natural sources may include wind blown dust, wildfires, and volcanoes. Wind blown dust. Now, you know that from naturally, not created a human. The speed of the wind always blows and various amount of dust with it, which creates air pollution. The the wildfires in the forest also creates air pollution because it's got a huge amount of carbon dioxide gas which gets contaminated into the air. Volcanoes also ejects the huge amount of hazardous gases from its direct mouth and gets contaminated into the air and gets air pollution. Now I pasted a picture taken from Google that how the different sources contributes um, to create the air pollution. Now I am zooming on it. Now you see here, this is stationary, this is mobile, this is stationary source, this is mobility source. In mobility source here is shown that numerous trucks, buses, airplanes. From stationary source it's shown that industry, power plants, sewage treatment. Now area sources fertilizer, oil and gas, livestock, and natural sources it includes forests, wildfires, volcanoes, etc. These all sources generally contribute to create air pollution. Okay. Now I've also taken a picture that is created by World Health Organization. That data is created by World Health Organization. That each sector contributes to create air pollution. Now we are zooming on it. Now you can see similarly household energy, agricultural practices, dust, waste management, transport, industry and energy supply. All this contributes to from air pollution. Now here is also a message is written that singly a country cannot tackle air pollution alone. We have to fight, or we have to fight the air pollution being whole people. It's single mindset. We have to prevent it. Okay. Now from the next slide, what may be the causes of air pollution? Okay. Air pollution is caused by solid, liquid, and gaseous particles that are present in air. These particles come from different sources like industrial place, wood, burning place, automobiles, and volcanoes, and wildfires. I have also discussed that how this creates air pollution. This portion. Solid and liquid particles present in air are called aerosols. Aerosols are formed from chemical reaction and fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, and also woods. Aerosol. And what are aerosols? Aerosols are the result of the chemical reaction and that formed from fossil fuels and burning of coal, petroleum, and woods. Okay, and it gets contaminated into the air, then forms aerosols. Now we know that ozone gas is both good and bad for us. You know that. I think you must all know that ozone gas is good and bad to all of the to all of us. Now, how it may be good and how it may be bad. Ozone gas is good when it is mm, above our Earth's atmosphere because it protects us from harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. You know that what is the side effect of ultraviolet rays of the sun? It may directly affect your skin and form skin cancer and various type of also other cancers. Okay, so the ozone layer above the Earth's atmosphere protects us from that ultraviolet ray. Now, when the ozone layer is within that atmosphere, then it gets in chemical reaction with other particles in the air and forms chemical reaction in final result of the hazardous chemicals, and which is very harmful for living beings. So ozone is both bad and good for us. Okay. Now the next topic is pollutant. What are pollutants? Pollutants are the particles that are responsible for causing air pollution. Generally, there are two types of pollutants. Then the what is pollutant? Pollutants are sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, etc., which are causing air pollution. There are two types of pollutant. Number one, visible and invisible pollutant. Number one, visible pollutant. Second, invisible pollutant. What is visible pollutant? Visible pollutants are easily simple from the name. It is very clear that visible pollutants are the pollutants which are easily visible from our eyes. The most famous example of this is smog. Generally, in mostly polluted cities, we can see smog from a clear visible eyes. This is the most important example of visible pollutant. Invisible pollutant. There are two types of invisible pollutant, that are primary pollutant and secondary pollutant. Okay, invisible pollutant is generally not visible to our eyes, but it is more harmful than visible pollutants. Okay, the invisible pollutants includes primary pollutant. These pollutants are direct result the process caused by the primary source. These pollutants are formed from directly primary source. For example, household, industrial, industrial mobility sources, agricultural sources, direct cause from that. Now, the sulfur dioxide emitted from industry is a direct example of that. Now, the secondary pollutant. The secondary pollutant is formed from the reaction between the primary pollutants. For example, let's say the pollutants that are caused by the mixing and reaction of the primary pollutants. Example, the smog. Smog is a result of the reaction of the various pollutants in the air. Okay, so smog is an example of secondary pollutant. Now you can see these are pollutants. Okay, I have listed a number of gases and particles responsible for air pollution. Now this include carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, chlorofluorocarbon, CFC, nitrogen oxide, ozone, unbound hydrocarbons, and leads and heavy metals. We know that leads and other heavy metals are very hazardous substance which gets contaminated into the air and creates lot of damage to our air quality. Now I have presented a data of deaths causing from air pollution. Now, according to the data of WHO, World Health Organization, 7 million people die every year from air pollution, including both household and outdoor. Now, this is very serious issue. Here you can see, all over the earth, 7 million people die every year due to this pollution. Okay, so this cannot be undertaken simply. This would be an important issue for us. Now you know that this air pollution causes various types of disease. So I have listed the 5 disease and a contribution percentage to create the death. Okay, the first is pneumonia. You know, the pneumonia is a disease that directly affects in the lungs, breathing system, directly affects it. So this contribution is 21% from to all our death. Okay, stroke and brain stroke, that is 20%. Heart disease, heart disease it caused by due to air pollution contributes about 34% to decrease. Pulmonary disease, COPD, this contributes about 19%. The lung cancer, it contributes about 7%. I have taken this data according to the World Health Organization. Okay, now I can zoom on it. You can see this World Health Organization data. Simply, the 21% are due to pneumonia, 20% from stroke, 34% from ischemic heart disease, 19% from pulmonary disease, COPD, 7% from lung cancer. This issue should be taken very seriously because we must prevent it. Okay, from next slide, I have again taken a data from World Health Organization in which deaths caused through air pollution worldwide data through all over the world. Okay, you can see it. Air pollution, a silent killer. What is silent killer? Because this killer we can't see. We can't see, we can't feel. Okay, this killer, but we can only measure it. This killer. So it is air pollution is silent killer. This is silent killer is very hazardous for us and become hazardous for us. So we must consider this issue very seriously. Now see, air pollution. The silent air pollution is a major environmental risk to health. By reducing air pollution levels, countries can reduce stroke. If air pollution level decreases, then this type of disease will decrease in that country in very mm, good manner. Okay, the disease name is stroke, heart disease, lung cancer, and both chronic acid acute respiratory disease, including asthma. Okay, now regional estimation according to the World Health Organization regional groupings, WHO groups. Now it is a, you know that it is a world map, and here is contribution. Its contribution to air pollution decrease is given. This see over 2 millions in Southeast Asia region. This is a total number of decrease of persons to air pollution. 2 million in Southeast Asia region, over 2 million in Western Pacific region, nearly 1 million in Africa region, about 5 lakh deaths in Eastern Mediterranean region, about 5 lakhs deaths in European regions, 3 lakh in the region of the Americans. Okay, this is the data of the World Health Organization. Now the next is solution. Now we all see that what can be done to air pollution, what air pollution can do, how it is extremely hazardous for us, extremely dangerous for us. Okay, now what may be the solutions to be implemented to control that air pollution or lower that air pollution risk and make our air quality great. Okay, what solutions include: number one, implementation of renewable energy sources. As we have also told in our previous video, that renewable sources means not wasting our energy, not wasting our energy, because we know that energy can't be created, not be destroyed. It is transformed from one phase to another phase. So when some energy is wasted from some phenomena, so that should not be done. It must be stored and maybe used for further purposes. Okay, this is renewable energy resources. Second, use of less public transportation. Using less public transportation, public transportation creates huge amount of hazardous gases into the air and contaminates. So we should use less public transportation. No, not using plastic bags. All you know that plastics are those substance which neither destroys nor burns. And when neither destroys and when it is burned, it creates very toxic gases, and it gets contaminated into the air. So using plastic bags should be banned mm, everywhere, and we should use you should use jute bags and other bags instead of plastic bags. And we should not use it, you should recycle it. We should recycle it. This will be beneficial for us and for our environment. Okay, now, deforestation and forest fires should be stopped. Deforestation means, you know that deforestation means cutting down the trees in the forest. This should be stopped because we know that trees, I have also discussed in this previous video, trees inhales carbon dioxide and releases oxygen, which is very important for us. So if we ejaculate huge amount of carbon dioxide into our atmosphere, then it should inhale it. Trees should inhale it. And forest fire, it again causes huge amount of carbon dioxide. So this should be stopped. Okay, avoid using crackers. Now you know that crackers when burned creates huge amount of hazardous gases which gets contaminated into the air and makes our air quality severely poor. So crackers using should be banned. Avoid using products with chemicals. Products with chemicals are also banned because we know that if these chemicals gets processed into reaction or gets burned, then it releases hazardous gases into our atmosphere. Using filters for chimneys. Now you have seen that chimneys directly ejaculate harmful gases or smokes directly into the atmosphere. This should not be allowed. We should use filters instead of chimneys. So this filters out the hazardous gases or dangerous gases and releases good air into the atmosphere. Okay, renewable clean energy production should be implemented as always told that we should always monitor AQI. What is AQI? Air quality index. Always monitor air quality index and takes action if the air quality index goes beyond the moderate conditions only. Okay, we should take action on it. Next, now let's go to the next slide. Now, what are the solutions? Now, this solution data is again provided by World Health Organization. I have pasted it here. Okay, pasted there. Now, what is the solution? It is clearly written that provide universal access to clean, affordable fuels and technologies for cooking, heating, and lighting. Okay, build safe and affordable public transport systems and pedestrian and cycle friendly networks. Make greener and more compact cities with energy efficient buildings. Now you know that most of the projects are now going on to make the city green and clean city. This is very extremely good for us. Reduce agricultural waste in incineration, forest fires, and certain agroforestry activities. Improve domestic industry and municipal waste management. Okay, invest in power, invest in energy efficient power generation. We should also invest in energy field. So investment in energy efficient power generation should be increased. Okay, because this energy may be used further, not be wasted, beneficial for us. Okay, now how should we measure air pollution? Okay, now simply air pollution is measured with the help of air quality index monitor. Okay, now it's simple like a thermometer. Note that thermometer which measures temperature in degree Celsius, Fahrenheit scale. Okay, now it's similar like air quality index monitor is similar like thermometer. Here instead of Celsius and Fahrenheit scale, you will see AQI scale ranging from 0 to approximately 500. Approximately 500. Maybe 0 is extremely lower, 500 is extremely higher. Now I have listed the data what air quality index is good or hazardous for us. Okay, now first is 0 to 50 is always good. The country having or the city sorry cities having AQI ranging from 0 to 50 is good. Now the 51 to 100 AQI is moderate. 101 to 150 AQI is unhealthy for some sensitive groups. It is unhealthy for the groups which are breathing difficulties and other type of disease. Another disease, disease like stroke, pneumonia, etc. 151 to 200 AQI is unhealthy for us. 201 to 300 is very unhealthy for us, and now 301 to 500 is extremely hazardous for us. This should not be achieved through air quality. We must monitor and takes some actions to control that air pollution. Now, I have given a table of world's most polluted city in 2020. This data is according to November 2020. Okay. Now, I have listed a city and its AQI. Now, Delhi, which is in India, ranks number 1 in the world's most polluted city. Its average AQI is determined is 356. Lahore, which is in Pakistan, its AQI is 305. Shenyang, its AQI is 192. Karachi, its AQI is 178. Chengdu, its AQI is 176. Now again, I have listed the least. Now here you can see the table of the cities with the least polluted in the world. This data is according to November 2020. Okay. Now the first city which is in the list is Tashkent. I think it is in Uzbekistan. Its AQI is 2. Now the Melbourne, its AQI is 3. Salt Lake City, its AQI is 4. Skopje, its AQI is 5. Settle its AQI is 16. Here it is listed AQI in list to the high graded manner. Okay, now we should end our conversation here. I think we have discussed air pollution in detail. If you like our video, then be remainers and subscribe our channel. Thank you.